Okay, so this says Young Thug woke up the Drake. This says Young Thug woke up the Drake stance too.
The What's poppin', y'all? Man, the thug calls have woken up the Drake stands. So in my previous video, I talked about how Thug tried to come at Kendrick Lamar with the Baby Keem situation, say he didn't make Baby Keem. You can check that out. But I'm gonna play you guys another clip from the call where he's talking about Drake putting people on and this and that, and this is what the Drake stands ran with. So I'm gonna play you guys that clip right now.
I don't be understanding that type of shit. Supposed to be a blessing. That's why them niggas never be bigger than Drake ever in life. Never be bigger than Buddy. Buddy gonna do it right. Buddy with everybody. You know what I mean? Like Drake changed. I mean, they take care of their family because of Buddy. Just like straight with you.
Young Thug talks so fast.
Goddamn, put it down. Y'all, you're a superstar. You don't ran up you a few hundred M, but you ain't put nobody on though. You see what I'm saying? You ain't even put Keem on. Cause the shit him doing this shit ain't really doing that. Put somebody on. It's okay to run you a few hundred M's up, but who you help though? You ain't really help nobody. It's the saying. You did all that shit, but man, you ain't help nobody. Really gaining no fans off of you. Keem ain't big. Keem love hell, man. Can't sell no ticket. Watch out. Like, man, watch out. I truly believe you do a song with me, Wham, Dirt, Moneybag, Savage. I truly believe we'll have your ass dope, trending, like, so it's gonna be like people in the real world for you, not the goddamn, not the rap world. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be real players and cool just lit and players and shit that you. Them type of people ain't with you. You gonna get like the real streets and the real people with you. You gonna get the East Coast for the East Coast ain't with you, bro. You really trying to keep all the blessings to yourself. You really trying to keep everything to yourself. You really sit in the studio and work on the album and don't put nobody on the album. Like, God damn, bro, you ain't gonna with nobody. You ain't gonna bless nobody. Bullshit ass King, like, but it's like, what the hell is you doing? You supposed to be fucking with me, Wham, Dirt, Savvy. You supposed to be fucking with us. You supposed to be calling us like, hey man, I want y'all young niggas on my album. I'm on some player shit this time around. I'm on some player shit. Like, come on, man, god damn. I don't know though. These niggas be crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully he do the song though. If he don't, I ain't really giving no damn.
We'll still be good.
Yeah, over good. Continue being rap, man. You know what I'm saying? Continue being rap, man. Stay supportive.
Yeah.
Put my album cover or something, man. Stay supportive, man. All that. I ain't posting no pictures 6 years. Man, watch out.
I hear Thug in his ear.
Care about all that shit,
Drake
man. Nobody don't give no about none of that. I guarantee you, your first post you post, that motherfucker gonna do 1 million or 2 million likes. You can get out in the next 16 years. You not finna get on here and get no 100 million likes on your post. You're not Kim Kardashian, man. So whatever you call yourself doing with your internet, and if you just want to prove like, oh, I won't be on the internet, what is that proving? What they do? What would you do? Instagram is meant for pictures, man. Post your picture, bro. Or just delete your Instagram.
Right.
Yeah. A rarity though, but man, have fun with that.
So this kicked off Drake's stand saying, oh shoot, we got more ammo to go at Kendrick Lamar. Well, one of Drake's top digital shooters, Academics TV. Y'all know we love this page here. I mean, honestly, it's like it's a love-hate situation. It's when it comes to just, you gotta respect a level of rage baiting and entertainment that comes from this page. It's unparalleled. Like, who's doing it like him? Regardless, he says, reminder that Kendrick waited till Rich the Kid had a smash hit to collab with him, fed off his wave, and once it was over, never messed with or acknowledged him again. By definition, that's the culture vulture y'all claim Drake is. If I had never heard something so wrong, and this is the thing, there's rage bait and then there's just straight fake news. This is straight fake news. Rich the Kid never had a wave. A wave is like, Rich the Kid had motion at one point in time, but a wave is when you got people trying to be like you, people moving. Well, actually, he did have a wave in terms of when it was him, Famous Dex, and Jay Critch, but they were all making different styles of music. They just came together well. But Rich the Kid, he had motion, but the funniest thing about this is New Freezer is what put Rich the Kid on. Plug Walk came after that. Every hit song that Rich the Kid had came after that. And this is the thing too. too. He blessed Rich the Kid with that. Like, even Rich the Kid talked about how New Freezer came out, and this is how shocking it was of a collaboration. Some people were appalled that Kendrick Lamar would even work with the Rich the Kid because they felt like Rich the Kid was too inferior of a rapper. But early on, New Freezer was supposed to be Ferg and Made in Tokyo and Rich the Kid, and Kendrick liked the version with just Rich the Kid, so he had him take the other guys off, and he hopped on it. And Ferg said he was cool with it to help Rich the Kid, and this was probably in the same sessions where Ferg's project came out, the one with the blue album cover. He had a couple of songs with Made in Tokyo there as well. We need more Ferg and Made in Tokyo tracks. Those guys, they're both living life, but man, that project was good. They had that song Wham, I think it was, not to be confused with Wham Lil Baby, but the project was Floor Seats. It was like an EP, not really an album, but I would consider it an album. It was 9 tracks, but yeah, Made in Tokyo, they were on Wham, and they were also on a couple of other tracks. I think Ferg appeared on some tracks by Made in Tokyo. So this was solid, and I really imagine what that song. Yeah, One Night Savage, Made in Tokyo was on that and on the Still Striving EP or Still Striving album, and then Move Your Hips is what Made in Tokyo was on Ferg with. And my theory has always been that Made in Tokyo has helped Ferg a little bit. Not like, I'm not saying Ferg was made by Made in Tokyo, but I think they worked off each other because Made in Tokyo has got some infectious hooks. So they try to cap about that, and it's objective. Rich the Kid got plug walk after this. Rich the Kid's wave started with Kendrick Lamar, if we're being honest here. So that goes out the window. And then you just get a list from this hip hop all day account, which they did a good job on this. But I do think there are some things we can dispel and be fair about, and there are some we don't need to, how do you say, we don't need to bend the rules or try to exaggerate to make Kendrick Lamar seem like he helps people out more than he actually does, because the actual evidence is enough. But it says artists whose most streamed songs on Spotify are collaborations with Kendrick Lamar. Travis Scott. And the reason why I said bending it and exaggerating it is, dog, Goosebumps is actually at like 3 billion streams. Part of the resurgence and success of Goosebumps came from the remix. The remix that was made by, his name was like HVBE or HVNE or something like that. It was a Goosebumps remix. It was kind of like an electronic remix that went viral in Europe, and then it spread, and it was all over TikTok initially. And that it brought Goosebumps back into the mainstream. That's when Goosebumps charted its highest. Goosebumps charted its highest after that electronic remix, which was mainly Travis Scott, because the original Goosebumps, it never topped the charts. It was a slow burn type of track. And nobody is saying that nobody's anticipating Goosebumps for Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar did his thing on there, but it wasn't the same thing that Kendrick Lamar did for No Freezer. Regardless, there's Zakari, J-Rock. J-Rock helped Kendrick Lamar, but they're saying, you guys get what I mean. Baby Keem, he put him on. 2 Chainz, Schoolboy Q, Isaiah Rashad, Sir, Big Crit, Danny Brown, Lefty Gunplay, AZ Chike or Az Chike, Dodie 6, and it looks like some of these people are just the people that got thrown on GNX. George Clinton, Tana Leone, MC8, Lance Skywalker, and more. I bet if we did this with Drake, we'd get the same result. Now, the reason why I got to give credit to Kendrick Lamar is he collaborates with people that are unexpected that get a massive benefit from him, and he sticks his neck out to do so. Whenever Drake's collaborated with somebody, it's been safe. Like, sure, he collaborated, and to his credit, Drake gave the Look Alive song to Blackboy JB. Blackboy JB admitted it recently this year. He said, yo, by the way, Look Alive was Drake's song. He just said I could hop on it. And then he gave it to Blackboy JB. And that was a smash. And it makes sense because you hear it. It's Drake coming in the beginning. Yo, by the way, Look Alive was Drake's song. He just said I could hop on it. And then he gave it to Black Boy JB. And that was a smash. And it makes sense because you hear it. It's Drake coming in the beginning. But he had some motion, Black Boy JB, a little bit. Like Memphis was popping at that time. Now, this was probably one of the weirdest collaborations with like people raised their eyebrows. They're like, whoa, Black Boy JB, who is that guy? And why is Drake working with him? But most of the others, they've made sense. And Drake, he does show a lot of subliminal love. Like, for example, like Yeet was already on by the time he hopped on his track, but he posted him on his IG story and was showing love, and I think that came from the connection with Zach Bia. But with Kendrick Lamar, and we have to speak on this, especially if Drake stans are talking about him going up against the industry. The industry, in this case Spotify really, they wanted to censor music and take down and limit the reach of artists that they deem to do reprehensible things in the public. So XXXTentacion, they wanted to limit his music, as well as R. Kelly and others. And Kendrick Lamar and TDE, they stepped out and said, yo, this isn't gonna fly. We're gonna pull our stuff if you don't let this be free. Let the music be the music, and let what they want to be, or let what they got going on be what they got going on. You're not gonna do this moral police thing. And this wouldn't work today because Spotify is just way too big at this point. But that was a crucial time, and they stuck their neck out to do that. Drake didn't do that, and I don't expect Drake to do that because XXX was talking greasy about him. Like, it was despicable what he was saying about Drake. Also, on top of that, XXX was like the most hated industry media blackout artist. Like, nobody wanted to touch him with a 10-foot pole because he was facing that gruesome case. And what did Kendrick Lamar do? The day 17 came out, and he barely ever tweets, he tweets out that album. He sends 2 tweets about it. Cosign, straight cosign on one of the most hated artists of a generation that was coming up. Like, you can't, that's from the heart. That's out of love. He had nothing to benefit from that. And then we can also talk about Kodak Black. And this is an example.
When it comes down to X, I've heard of his music before. I didn't really know too much about him, because I've been recently watching his interviews and then like his motivation, and I've been watching his inspiration too. Like the time where he was here, I didn't know too much about him, or like cause I have listened to his music before, didn't know too much about his background, nor that's none of my business, but I was listening to his music at the time. I listened to like one of his most popular stuff, his most popular music, 17, his album 17, and then I listened to Love with him and I think Trippie Redd. Yeah, Trippie Redd. I listened to that too, but there's other music I was listening to, but I just didn't know too much about him, his personal. I didn't know too much about his personality or his background. I just knew him from his music.
Example of what I was talking about earlier in the Yeet type situation. Kodak Black was on an interview talking about like, yo, like Drake and all that. Yeah, if we're not gonna hop on a song, what is this "we're cool" thing? Because since 2015, I think it was the project after Project Baby. Project Baby was like the first big mixtape. After that, he started showing love to Kodak. He saw the wave that Kodak Black had, and he's been showing love slyly ever since, and then more and more over time. It wasn't Lil Big Pac where he really showed love to him. It was like where I gotta remember it. Heart of the Projects. It was Heart of the Projects, yeah. That was 2014. I remember it clearly. So he was showing love to Kodak, but he's never been on a song with Kodak. And Kodak is like, yo, we've never worked together. But Kendrick Lamar, he hopped on a track with him. Drake's never done that for Kodak. And Kendrick Lamar hopped on a track with Kodak after Kodak took a plea for that brutal grape case in South Carolina. I think, like, I don't know if he can't go to South Carolina. There's some situation in South Carolina. But I think, did he catch a pardon for that? No, it was for something else. Regardless. So he took a plea for that. And that just goes to show you Kendrick Lamar's sticking his neck out. Kendrick Lamar's got a clean brand. Nothing bad anyone can say about him. And he has the most to lose for co-signing an X or working with a Kodak. And then the people that he had on GNX, instead of with the whole wave that he had after beating Drake, instead of getting all these star-studded features, what does he do? He gets people from his city and puts them on this. And I don't know what what more people want than that? Like, he let people open for him. He's done a lot. Now, granted, he's not handing out features here and there, but he doesn't drop music as often as Drake. If Kendrick dropped music as often as Drake, you could potentially say, yo, he should hop on with this guy. He should show people more love. And this is the thing. Young Thug talking about he need to work with Moneybagg Yo. This is 2023, by the way. Moneybagg Yo's been a star since 2020, or maybe you don't want to call him a star, whatever you want to call him. That guy's been an established, successful act since 2020. All the people that Young Thug wants Kendrick Lamar to work with are popping. So if he got on with them, it's just like, oh, he's on with this guy, I guess. So I don't even get that angle of it either. And who is an individual that people didn't expect Drake to work with? That's a new artist that he put on. Smiley. If we're gonna get Smiley whenever Drake does something like that, with all due respect, please keep it. Stop helping people. Stop handing out features. We don't want that garbage over here. And this is also a personality thing as well. Drake he's done more interviews. He's collaborated with more people than Kendrick. Does that mean Kendrick has dropped less music, also done less interviews than Drake? Does that mean that Kendrick Lamar should do more interviews, or like media outlets should be upset at Kendrick Lamar because he doesn't do an interview with them? Now, media outlets are upset at Drake, but that's because hip-hop media outlets in particular, but that's because has messed with them in the past and they feel like they're getting backstabbed. Although I personally think it's a sense of entitlement that they have, as opposed to them being concerned that he's doing interviews with non-hip-hop outlets. Like, yo, if Drake ever gave you an interview, period, you should be appreciative. That's it. Same thing with a Kendrick Lamar. Like, they don't owe you anything, especially if he gave it to you when he was big. Like Elliot, dog, he gave y'all I think it was after Pusha T, he did the interview with y'all. You cannot, that's all you need in life. What more do you want? What have you given Drake? I didn't mean to take shots if that's interpreted at Elliot. I mess with Elliot. I mess with Elliot's new energy as well. But I just had to defend Kendrick Lamar on this because it's an incorrect narrative, man. This guy shows love, and he shows love that isn't fake. Like, he's putting people on songs. Now, the expectation that he has to start chucking out features is ridiculous. That's not on brand. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you disagree or agree? Like, subscribe, and hit the notification.
It really, I guess, I don't know. It just depends on the person. Even if they are artists or the rapper, so to say, it just depends on the person. Just based on, based on their intention or how they cooperate with certain, I guess with certain situations. When it comes to collabing, dropping features on albums and then on music videos, and just on music and rap in general. But there's like really no negotiation based on how a person moves. I mean, if the energy's there, then if the energy's there, it translates. Whether if it's positive or negative, that just speaks for itself.